What's up, YouTube? So on today's video, we're going to be picking the brain of a full-time content creator and digital marketer. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video.
All right, so the first question I got for you is, what's one mistake beginners make that keeps them stuck for months or even years?
So like when you ask that, like you mean like in content perspective or just in life?
And basically, give me a little bit of both.
A little bit both.
Yeah.
I would say content creating is like, kind of just keeping yourself in just one box. A lot of people they come on the internet and whatever you blow up on, that's what you're gonna be known for. So I always tell people, when you come on the internet, blow up on something that you don't mind actually running with that game, running with that kind of gimmick, right? Because you don't want to put yourself in a box where, you're doing something that you really don't want to do, and now you in that cap. Like, never put a cap on yourself. And in life, I pretty say, like, wait, what was the question one more time?
Like, what was one mistake beginners make that keeps them stuck for months or even years?
I would say another mistake that beginners make when they first start off something besides just content or anything is basically, let me see. So I say like one mistake, in life in general, or when anybody is starting something, is like something that keeps them stuck for months or even years, is they start something, right? When people first start something, they have the tendency they quit. Like, soon as they see that nothing's working out, things not going the way they wanted to go, they quit. They kill their momentum. The worst thing that I feel like you can do when you start something, you got a little buzz, what I'm saying? You kind of going up a little bit, but then you stop. Because then it's going to be hard to gain that momentum back. Once you got that momentum, you always keep going. You never stop. And that's probably one of the biggest mistakes that people make.
Or like, you think like another mistake is like stop believing in themselves.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It all kills your momentum. And that's the thing. A lot of people, they don't talk about, like, once you gain the momentum and you stop, it's so hard to get it back. Like, when you start posting, let's say you start posting on YouTube, you get a nice video and then you stop. It's so hard to get those views back, to where you want them to get to. And then people get discouraged and then they don't get back on track at all.
Okay, that's real shit though. Cause in the beginning, when I first started, I definitely felt that type of way though. Like, when I stopped, it made me not want to post nothing else again.
Yeah.
Because I lost my views. Like, you start off, once you first start off, you got like a limited amount of supporters.
Yep.
So once you lose their attention, it's hard to get them back.
Yep, it's tough.
All right, I fuck with that. All right, so the second question says, if you lost your entire business today, how would you make your first 10,000 online again?
All right, that's a good question. If I lost my entire business today, first thing I would do to make money online, like, I would learn a high income skill, right? Whether it's digital marketing, but like anything is really a high income skill. Like, literally as simple as changing a tire. Like, all those things are high income skills. Mechanic work. Whatever you want to do. And I'm basically, I'm gonna come on the internet, right? I'm gonna teach it. Post content about it. Become consistent. Once I make my first $5,000 to $10,000 on it, now I can start charging. Now I can start dropping products. Now I can start doing all these different types of things. And then bam, you got the ball right back rolling. The thing about it is results is what creates sales. Results is what creates credibility. You need the credibility, in order to become a profitable businessman. So, that's what I would kind of do right there.
Right, basically, I kind of try to break down on my channel about selling value, right? So that basically kind of ties into the same thing, or what I try to explain. But I fuck with the answer too. All right, so this next one I got is, what's a marketing strategy that's working right now, but most people are completely overlooking it?
A marketing strategy that is working right now, like I said, is credibility. Literally, a lot of people, they overlook results. Results is what's gonna sell. Like, if you master something, if you learn something, right, and you reteach it to the internet, that's a cheat code. You're a walking cheat code. The moment that you learn something and you master and you body it, you're a cheat code right there. And that's what's gonna sell, because a lot of people, there's 100 million problems in the whole world. The fact that you mastered one of those problems, somebody out there needs it. There's an audience for everybody. So once you learn and solve that problem, you come on the internet, you show them, bam, instant results right there.
All right, so for this question, it says, how do you know when to keep pushing through challenges versus when it's time to pivot?
All right, so the way that you go about that is, like, if it's your passion, that's what you go with. There ain't no plan B. You just keep sticking with it until it works. But if you know it's not what you really want to do, then of course, then it's time to pivot. It's time to do other things. But that's the thing. There's no plan B. It gotta work. This is it's all or nothing. Especially like if that's really, you know, what you really want to do in your life, why quit? Why stop?
Right. So I'm gonna add on another question to that. So like, you say that it gotta work, but what do you gotta say about people that face like adversity with it? Like people that's like afraid to get online and show face.
Uh, like oh, so you talking about like content creation,
Yeah.
like for content creation. I would really say, man, people who are scared to show their face. Really all I have to say is everybody got to start somewhere. Everybody got to start somewhere. That's the mentality, man. It's like nothing never gonna be perfect, ever. The moment that you think something's gonna be perfect, that's when you gonna sell yourself short because you're never gonna be perfect.
Okay. So for this next question, I've been wanting this for a long time. I couldn't wait to ask you this question. All right. So what's something that you believe what's something that you believed when you started that you knew was wrong, but you still like kept going with it?
Let me see. One thing I knew when I first started, a lot of people said content creation was like oversaturated. Like everybody wants to do it, but I knew that was wrong because that's the thing. Everybody is different, and that's what makes content. You know, just because he doing this and just because it's 100 people want to do this, doesn't mean that it's a different way to do it. I still could do the same thing, but I can still do it a different way. So,
Exactly.
you know, that's probably one of the things I learned.
So basically creating your own path instead of like just because he do this, you can't go directly into what he's doing because that's what works for him.
Yeah.
So you got to create your own path.
Yeah.
And your own path might sell.
Yep.
Fuck around, sell more than that person.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know? All right. So for this question right here, what's the biggest investment you've made in yourself that gave you the highest return?
Ooh, my time, man. Time is money. Money is time. Time that you know, when I was working my 9-to-5 job, you know, the time that I didn't have to be there, I'm locked in, learning. I'm constantly learning. Always being a student to the game. Always investing in myself. Everybody, they want to invest in everything. They want to invest in stocks, crypto. They want to invest in Bitcoin. They want to invest in all that stuff, but they don't want to put the time to themselves.
So if someone had 90 days to build an online income, what would be your step-by-step focus be?
My step-by-step focus, if someone wanted to build an online income, is becoming valuable, right? So whatever value over time, you know, it's not necessarily that you got to put a lot of time, a lot of effort into it. The more valuable, you know, you want to come on the internet and make some money, the more money that you're gonna make, the more problems that you solve, the more you know, trust. Also, value builds that trust as well, right? I always like to say, if you can trust, if someone can trust you, then they'll trust you with their wallet, right? So that's when I say that's when you can start building that online income. And this is the green light right here. This is the tip. This is the green light. So whenever you're doing something online and someone asks you how to do something, that is the green light when you know you can start making income, because that's when you can start teaching something and pricing it, right?
Exactly. So I want you guys to lock in and notice like how you keep on saying value and time. Those two words right there, that's how you get into this shit. Value and time. Trade your time with your value. All right. So what's the difference between someone who makes their first 1,000 online and someone who builds a 6-figure business?
Makes their first 1,000 online and builds a 6-figure business. So what do you mean like when they make their first 1,000? Like that's just it? That's just it?
Yeah, like put it in an aspect of like they made their first 1,000, but I ain't gonna say like that's it. But what's the difference, like from making your first 1,000 to like?
Okay. Oh, the difference is, man, it's like the feeling. You know, when you make your first $1,000 online, honestly, in my opinion, I think it's gonna feel better. I think it feels better than when you make your first 6 figures, because when you already know, once you surpass like 10, 20, 50K, you already know 6 figures is on the way. But you never know when you're gonna make your first 1,000. Like, man, like the thing with when you first start off, you're struggling to get views, you're struggling to get sales or whatever you're doing. And when you make your first 1,000, it's like you become proud of yourself because you showed yourself that you can do it. And it just shows yourself, man, whatever I put my mind to, I really did that shit. So I feel like that 1,000 gonna hit a lot different.
So you'll appreciate making 1,000 rather than the 6 figures, because once you make your first 1,000, that's your stepping stone.
That's your stepping stone.
So that 6 figures, you already made it.
Yeah. It really, in reality, it's all it's a matter of time.
Exactly. All right. So, what's some daily habits that you had that like was the biggest impact on the success of your career?
Daily habit: waking up early. Wake up early. The early bird always gets the worm. That sounds so oversaturated, sound like a cliche, sound corny, but the earlier you wake up and you can get things done, you got the rest of your day to continue to keep learning, continue to keep getting other things done. Never get to the point where you waking up at around 2 to 3 o'clock.
Right.
The day already didn't started. The day already over with. The days go by so fast. And taking care of your body. Health as well. A lot of people, they don't realize, a lot of people, they can't get in their bag because they don't work out. The gym is like resistance. When you in the gym and you pushing that weight on yourself, right? You pushing that weight off yourself, that's life. Life gonna come down on you, but you gotta keep going.
Right.
That's what the gym teaches, discipline.
Exactly. And if you guys go tune into my last video, I just talked about all of that, how I hit rock bottom and I basically changed my daily habits and turned myself into a digital marketer. So make sure y'all go check that out as well.
Yep.
So for the last and final question, what's one piece of advice you wish someone had given you before you started digital marketing?
The thing is, like, one of the best pieces of advice I wish that someone would have gave me is never be afraid to, I would say, never be afraid to price something I'm not gonna say at a high rate, but never be afraid to resell your knowledge. Like when I first started digital marketing, I'm real humble. I never wanted people to like look at me as like money hungry or anything, but you're giving value, like top-notch value. So do not be afraid to sell your product. Don't be afraid to push your product. Like when I first started, I was not promoting my products enough. I was not pushing it enough. So do not be afraid to put it out there, like show the people on all platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. You need to be pushing out there to every single different platform. There's a different audience on every single platform.
Right. Man, shit, I appreciate all the knowledge you just came and you dropped on my channel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anytime.
Give my subscribers some advice.
Hey, look, this is probably the best advice you ever gonna hear in your life, right? But you 3 feet away from gold, right? I love the story 3 feet away from gold. Shout out to Napoleon, Think and Grow Rich. Y'all can go read that book. Great book, by the way, right? So 3 feet to gold basically means, in the story, these guys, they were right there. They were gold miners, right? They mined for gold. They gave up, but somebody else came and took their business over, right? And basically, what happened was, he found the gold 3 feet away. Now imagine if those guys who started before him, and they would have stayed with it. They would have got rich first. They would have got to the success, but they gave up. And a lot of people that gave up today, they don't know tomorrow could be the day.
Right? See, I fuck with that. I admire how you get on here and you use your wordplay.
Yeah.
And shit. Like, it's definitely motivating.
Most definitely.
That'll be all for today's video, though. I appreciate you for coming out.
Yes, sir.
Shit.
Anytime, man.